Welcome, let's explore history, news, life, science, knowledge, events, designing, stories, presents, on Trend Story Now. 10 of the most creepy spots on Earth. There are a lot of reasons that make a place creepy. It could be a terrifying history, the eerie sense of unease a place gets when abandoned, or its ominous architecture. That, however, does not deter us, especially the adventurous type, from wanting to visit these places. There's something fascinating about checking out a creepy place, and the adventurer in us just wants to confirm that we don't scare easily. Bannerman Castle is a long-abandoned residence that sits in the middle of the Hudson River, New York. It was built by Francis Bannerman, a man who spent his time in this fortress, collecting a huge amount of military-grade weaponry. Second, the Overtoun Bridge of Scotland. You may want to avoid this place if you are a dog lover. Dogs leap to death for no apparent reason, and dozens of them have killed themselves over the last half-century. Local researchers estimate more than 300 have sailed off the bridge. Tabloid reports say it's 600. At least 50 dogs are said to have died. Some say there are rational explanations involving the terrain and the sense of mammals in the gorge that may drive the dogs into a frenzy deaths. Third, the Condido Godoy in Brazil. On first sight, Condido Godoy looks like a fairly normal town in Brazil, but if you take a closer look, you realize the town is swarming with twins. In fact, rumors say that a Nazi geneticist fled to this town after the war. He started experimenting on the population, and this is what triggered the phenomenon. Aside from a bizarre volume of twins, the Brazilian town of Candido Godoy is unique in another way. It's composed almost entirely of blonde-haired, blue-eyed, German-speaking immigrants. The makeup of this population certainly enhances the theory of Dr. Mengele creating a pet master race, but in truth, the town's German connection is much less sinister. Number 4. The Cabayan Caves. Cabayan is home to several caves that contain hundreds of mummified corpses. It's a good place to visit if you really want to have nightmares. They're just a man-made caves in the remote isolated mountains of the Philippines. And these caves are well-preserved mummified corpses in the world. 5. Silent Hill in Centralia. A mine fire in Centralia has been burning, and has left the town abandoned almost entirely. The place looks like a cutscene from the Silent Hill game. In fact, Centralia was one of the inspirations for the game. It has been burning underneath the borough of Centralia, Pennsylvania, United States, since at least May 27, 1962. Number 6. Matsuo Mine in Japan. Matsuo Mine was once a bustling sulfur mine before it was abandoned. If you would like to check it out now, you would be met by a giant wall of mist, constantly hiding it from view. This makes it look like a scary ghost town. As it got a little darker, a fog began to roll in and descended over the apartment blocks. It looked awesome but creeped me out because I kept looking up at the dark apartment block windows that were now shrouded in this eerie mist, wondering if ghosts were staring back at me. 7. The Body Farm of Tennessee. Body Farm is actually a facility in Tennessee used as a training ground for the FBL and other forensic experts. They use it to determine time of death, cause of death, and they use real donated cadavers. This means that the place is full of dead bodies. By placing the bodies outside to face the elements, researchers are able to get a better understanding of the decomposition process. This place will be more than a horror movies you ever imagine. You're actually walking on dead. Number 8. The Leet Castle in Ireland. Located in Ireland, the castle has a bloody history of violent rivalries and executions. It is thought to be haunted to this day, especially after a team of renovators discovered a pit full of spikes and human remains not so long ago. There is a lot of activity, other times less so. The sounds they hear are footsteps, doors opening and closing, and crowds talking. However, on occasions gone in the direction of the noise, only one thing I knows. Spirits are lingering in this castle as they think they are still alive, up to now. 9. The Winchester Mystery House. The Winchester House looks like a relatively normal old mansion from the outside. But Sarah, widow of the former residence of gun magnate William Manchester, believed the house was haunted by gun victims of his husband. She kept building bizarre stairs and doors that led nowhere, so as to try and keep the ghosts from ever finding her. Some visitors have sworn to have seen the wheelbarrow ghost, a kindly apparition in white, Overalls who apparently works on the house. Number 10. Island of Dolls in Mexico. This place ranks among the freakiest places you could ever find yourself in. Thousands of old battered dolls can be found hanging from trees, and they cover the entire island. The story goes that the body of the drowned girl was found by the island's caretaker, Don Julian Santa, who was left shaken at being unable to save her. After the incident, he found a floating doll in one of the Xochimilco canals around the island, which he decided to hang up on a tree as a mark of respect to the deceased girl. And this the beginning, where people visited this place's hang-a-dolls. And years back this dolls becomes the living creepy nightmares. Thank you for watching on Trend Story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Kindly ring the bell as well, so you'll get notified every time I have new uploads. Thank you.